Authorities are searching for the suspect who fatally shot 36-year-old Antron Tilman. At just after midnight on Wednesday the 6th of December, authorities responded to the Ashland Manor Apartments complex at 2030 Ashland Avenue in Toledo, Ohio, and reports of shots fired. When police arrived at the scene, they found Antron in a critical condition with at least one gunshot wound. He was transported to Mercy Health St. Vincent Medical Center, where he died from his injuries. The Lucas County Coroner's Office determined Antron's cause of death was a gunshot wound to his chest, and his death was ruled a homicide. Authorities said it's unclear whether the shooting was inside or outside the building. Shattered glass was visible at the entrance of the complex. Officers are reviewing video surveillance of the shooting from the building in hopes of identifying the suspect. No arrests have been made to date, and the motive of the attack remains unclear as the investigation into the matter continues. 22-year-old Brandon DeWitt is behind bars for fatally shooting his girlfriend, 21-year-old Bethany Lynn Shaw. At around 5:15 p.m. on Wednesday the 6th of December, authorities responded to the couple's home at 2532 Timmonsville Highway in Darlington, South Carolina on reports of a shooting. When officers arrived, they found Bethany Lynn unresponsive with gunshot wounds. She was pronounced dead at the scene. During the investigation, authorities identified Brandon as a suspect. Investigators said the shooting appeared to have been domestic-related and happened in the presence of Bethany Lynn's infant daughter. Brandon was arrested and charged with murder, possession of a weapon during a violent crime, and neglect of a legal custodian. He was booked into the W. Glenn Campbell Detention Center. During a bond hearing on Thursday the 7th of December, Brandon sobbed for most of the hearing, and at one point he faintly uttered that he didn't mean to do it. Brandon was on probation at the time for financial card fraud, and a judge denied him bond. Bethany Lynn's aunt said that her niece had called her last weekend concerned about her boyfriend. What really gets me is she reached out to me over the weekend and asked me if I could talk any sense into her boyfriend, but I had no idea this was going on this bad, or it was going to be this outcome, she explained. Bethany Lynn worked as a 911 dispatcher for Darlington County and is survived by two daughters aged 6 months and 4 years old. 48-year-old Darren Thompson is behind bars for trying to burn down his house while his wife and her aunt were trapped inside. At around 1:30 a.m. on Wednesday the 6th of December, Darren's wife called 911 from a home at 7909 Arnott Road in Pleasant Valley, Missouri. She said her estranged husband had broken into the residence, even though he was not allowed to be there, and threatened her with violence. Darren yelled, "I'm going to fry you like steak," before she barricaded herself and a 78-year-old aunt in the bedroom, where they began to smell smoke. Deputies arrived at the residence and could smell something burning. The victims yelled out of the bedroom window for help as Darren walked out onto the porch. When confronted by deputies, Darren refused to comply with their demands and went back inside the house with the door open. He struggled with deputies as they tried to detain him, kicking one of them in the right leg, causing a sharp pain. A German Shepherd in the home had also become aggressive and attempted to bite deputies during the arrest. Deputies managed to move the dog safely into another room and close the door. Once Darren was taken into custody, firefighters were able to evacuate the two women and put the fire out that had been started in the living room. It had burnt a cabinet and painting, and it was making its way up the wall towards the ceiling before firefighters extinguished it. Investigators discovered accelerants inside the residence, as well as a torchlighter in Darren's pocket. The Missouri Department of Public Safety Division of Fire Safety said the fire was intentionally started. Both women told deputies they feared for their lives during the incident. Darren is charged with first-degree assault on a special victim, arson, domestic assault and assault on a law enforcement officer. He's held at the Clay County Detention Center with bond set at $100,000. The investigation into the matter continues. A 29-year-old man has been charged in the fatal shooting of a 22-year-old woman. At 12:22 a.m. on Friday the 8th of December, authorities responded to an area outside 17 Nason Street in Brockton, Massachusetts, where they found a woman who had been shot and killed while sitting in a vehicle. The victim's been identified as 22-year-old Stephanie Beatty of Norwich, Connecticut. Investigators identified 29-year-old Gelson Fernandez of Brockton as a suspect in a murder. Authorities located Gelson down the road with a self-inflicted gunshot wound near 46 Nason Street. He was transported to a Boston hospital for treatment and has been charged with homicide. Authorities said that Stephanie and Gelson were previously acquainted, but have not shared how they knew each other. The investigation into the matter continues.